like to tell you a little story about something that happened to me yesterday that so perfectly illustrates both the patheticness and the cruelty of MAGA. First off, I'm running on about 2.5 hours of sleep. My dog, Martha, is in the ICU right now. She had to have emergency surgery yesterday. So yesterday evening, I'm at home waiting to hear back from the surgeon. I got a call, and it was from a 332 area code. I would just like to point out here that sharing people's phone numbers publicly is not a crime in Oregon, so I could do that, but I'm going to refrain. And of course, I said hello, and there is some young man on the other end, or maybe two of them, that start spewing some like weird Trumpy nonsense. Like, okay, great, this is a crank call. Like, if it was meant to be a threat, it wasn't even remotely intimidating. And of course, I didn't say anything because I'm not interested in having phone calls recorded or whatever. So I just stayed quiet and let them, spout whatever they were going to spout. Then eventually, when they realized I wasn't going to talk and I wasn't going to be baited by their, completely deficient MAGA nonsense, they hung up. About 10:30 at night, somebody rang my front doorbell. And my husband went and answered it. If you've seen him in any of my videos, you know that he's a big burly guy. I also have a big male dog with a loud bark. Late at night, I let the two of them handle things at the front door. Well, it was a pizza delivery guy from Dominoes. And he said, Angela Baker, I have an order for you. And I was like, I didn't order any pizza. And I was like, I know what's going on. So I asked if I could see the receipt. Of course, it was from the same phone number with the 332 area code. And Diet Coke and whatever. And I was like, no, I'm not taking this. And the poor pizza delivery guy was like, you're refusing this order? And I was like, well, I didn't place the order and I'm not interested. Especially because on the receipt, there was a note that said to be sure to tell me to have a MAGA-licious day. Like, oh, that's real embarrassing for you boys. That's the best that you could come up with. Have a MAGA-licious day? That's just, yeah, I'm having secondhand embarrassment for you. Of course, initially I thought, well, these sad boys wasted $37 trying to intimidate me. Clearly, this is a threat, right? They want to make sure that I know that they know my phone number and my physical address where I live with my family. This classic MAGA threatening, bullying, intimidating behavior. First off, I was raised in a German-American family and my dad was an Air Force colonel. Do you really think threats and intimidation and bullying are something that I am not very familiar with and I am going to be intimidated by? You think that is something that's going to work on me? Bless your heart, son. I don't typically like to shame people, but in this instance I am more than happy to do so, especially because I found out because I called the Dominoes, that they did a cash only order, and so they were intending to stick the driver with the bill. I'm sure you limp dick little shits thought you had something there. You thought you were flexing your muscle and you were making some middle-aged mom out in Oregon shaking her booties. I'm sure that's what you thought as you were like high-fiving each other, like, oh man, we really owned the libs. Did you think that was gonna get me to stop making my content? Did you think that was going to frighten me at all? I honestly feel sorry for you because it was just such a wonderful demonstration of how sad and empty you feel, how pathetic and insecure you are, and how you're like not very smart and not very sophisticated. You couldn't even come up with like a witty thing to put on the receipt. You didn't even have anything witty to say to me over the phone. You had a one-on-one chance to interact with me on the phone. I have 250,000 YouTube subscribers. It's not often that somebody gets a chance to talk to me one-on-one. You could have said whatever you wanted. And it was just a bunch of like mumbling, incoherent, like, yeah, Trump. Yeah, you really blew your shot there, buddy. One, I think it's comical that you think I was going to be intimidated by that, but I also think it's really funny that y'all are clearly so worked up. You are so nervous. You are so dysregulated. You are so fearful of Donald Trump being held accountable for his illegal actions that you are threatening a middle-aged homeschool mom in Portland, Oregon. Something I said must have really gotten under your skin. You to out yourselves as so obviously afraid. Threats and intimidation are always something that is used by people who are weak, cannot command respect and authority, don't actually have real power. It's a tactic of losers. I know you think that you were really gonna scare me off from making my content. I know you felt real big and powerful in that moment. That's sad for you, that's the most powerful you'll ever feel. Sending a pizza to a mom in Oregon. All you did was tip your hand. show me and my family, and now my 250,000 subscribers. Oh, let's add the other 200 from TikTok as well. What you did was show those folks how sad and fragile you are. You're so desperate to get attention from women. This is what you did. Yes, I filed a police report. No, I will not be threatened by sad little limp dick chuds. They're spending their energy, their life hours, slobbering all over the knob of Donald Trump.